Alright, we're gonna take a look at Senshi in action, and you guys made some really interesting comments, things I didn't even know about Senshi. So, one thing missed is he's rank 13 skill. It makes it so that the cuisine does not lose HP, and he becomes immune to bound with 3, I think that's 4 stacks of Senshi's satisfaction. This allows him to use cooking without the support skill, since skip turn is considered a bound effect. I didn't even know that. But so you can use his rank 13 apparently to prevent the skip turn. That way you don't have to run that skill responsibility. Also, that Senshi Iron Pot skill lets you block 40% and pick which way you face, which is something I wish Coco could do for the bottom floor of Tower Adversity to tank the arrow. And the mechanic behind cuisine giving both happiness and fullness isn't to make him worse than Coco. The cuisine effect gets cast every 4 to 5 turns for free and from somewhere other than the character, which could be advantageous in the right situation. So we're gonna test, and I didn't have rank 13, I wasn't willing to invest the resources, but I did go for rank 13 just to be a guinea pig here, and then I unlocked the Ascension skill. So what Prinny God was referring to is his unique skill that he gets at level 2, which you really shouldn't be spending the resources for him, but so he's referring to this level 2 effect. You can only unlock it at level 2. After you trigger cuisine effect, it does not reduce the food's HP, and when having 4 stacks of Senshi satisfaction, gains immunity to bound. So that's how you can be immune to that skip. We're gonna put this to the test later, which in effect will mean that it's mealtime. The skips the turn won't skip the turn, and we won't have to run responsibility, because this responsibility, it's mealtime, no longer requires preparation and no longer causes the character to skip the turn after casting. So we're going to test this out. But first, let's just look at the skills we're going to run in this fight. So Senshi's reaction has block. If he's close to the food, then he's going to block even more damage, and he's going to do assisting cover. So you really want to fight around the food with Senshi. Keep your units around the food. We're running this passive. I think this should always be on him. The smell of cooking. Cuisine gains an aura effect that increases attack and defense by 10% around the food for allies. Decreases attack and defense for enemies by 10%. When the character triggers cuisine effect, gain 1 stack of Senshi satisfaction, so that we can get 1 stack there, and recovers 1 energy. And I'm gonna run responsibility, the passive, so that we don't skip a turn when casting. When cooking a pot here, it's also going to give us 2 stacks of Senshi satisfaction and gain crit 2 and damage 2. And then obviously we're going to run its mealtime, which is going to summon the food for us. And the food gives you attack up 2, move up 2 for allies around the pot again. I'm running this Mystery Guardian. I'm not sure what to run on him, but this one seems good. When attacked from front, gains 15% bonus physical defense and immune to defense attribute. Because he's blocking from the front, I thought this matches him well. Okay, so he starts the battle off. He summons one of these pots. If we can summon another one. So you can do really cool things with Senshi in some funny contents where you need to block enemies. I know there's a mission coming out where you have to block the slimes. It's very useful there, so you can block their path. Create a wall here. And there's that, it's gonna be doing cuisine effects. And so it's really a food fight with Senshi. You gotta fight around within 2 tiles of this food, so within this area. Keep your allies around. You can do some pretty cool things. You're increasing your allies' attack by like 60%, up to 60%. Or depending on what skills you're running, maybe 40 to 60%. You're decreasing enemies' stats as well. You're healing your allies. He's doing assisting cover. He's doing all those things around the food. Also, 30% chance to trigger the happiness which can reduce cooldowns and energy costs, similar to Coco does. So I think he's useful for people who don't have Coco and they need that energy reduction. But so if we look at Rawia, she's getting... Okay, on the first turn, she's not getting any buffs. It's important to note. And Senshi's getting attack up 2, etc. because he also got extra stacks of Senshi satisfaction with its mealtime. And then the smell of cooking aura increase attack by 10%, defense by 10%. At the end of the turn, he recovers 20% HP, chance to trigger happiness and fullness. Not sure why Rawia hasn't gotten it yet. Okay, yeah, Rawia is not within 2 tiles of the food. That's why she didn't get the effect of she's within 3 tiles. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. There she recovers HP from the food. So yeah, you can summon this food immediately with Senshi. We summoned it on the first turn, it's the second turn, and he can act already. So his basic attack is pretty cool. It's a knockback of 2 tiles. If attacking an item, can act again. So we can do things like knocking the food into enemies, and now he can act again. So you can knock it into the enemy again, but we don't want to destroy the food. So you can move and just do a normal attack. This is gonna hit him quite hard, 5,500 damage, because he has right now 5 stacks of Senshi's satisfaction, which increases attack by 30%. So that's going to be a 150% increase in his damage. However, when you do an attack, it removes all his stacks. But still cool, so that we can finish off the enemy there. There's the regen. One of the pots should be expiring soon, or destroyed. Okay, now Rawia's turn. Okay, now she finally gets attack increase, defense increase by 10%, the smell of cooking, and the move up 2, because she's within 2 tiles of the food. Unfortunately, we didn't trigger that 30%, so neither of them got the happiness. But that's just gonna be RNG. It's the downside of having Senshi before 5 stars. You only have 30% chance, but I still think it's decent if you don't have a Coco and you need to do missions where you need to reduce cooldowns to beat bosses. I think it's a good alternative. It's a bit of RNG, but still, it's something. So yeah, we still... Okay, we've triggered it now with Rawia. It's just by luck. We're on the 4th turn, yeah. So she's got the happiness. Buff. For all skills, reduce energy by 1, consumption by 1. After use, reduce the cooldown by 1 turn. And then we also triggered that fullness, which cannot trigger cuisine effects anymore. Okay, so that's a bit unfortunate. So it means she's no longer getting that 10% increase in attack and 10% increase in defense anymore. Just for her. As well as... Yeah, I'm not sure about Senshi. So it looks like the happiness triggers just for like specific units, not all units. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, and she no longer has the extra 2 movement as well. If you end her turn, there she gets no healing from the cuisine. Yeah, and Senshi has no happiness. So it is just unit specific. It's a 30% chance for each unit. So it doesn't trigger for all the units together. But I do like this build. I like running responsibility. You can summon the pot. Just takes 1 turn to summon the pot. And then yeah, Senshi's all about food warfare. You can attack the food and then move. The liquor is reducing his movement speed, so we can't reach the enemy there. So that's this build, and what you could do, we can remove responsibility, which is going to skip that, we're not going to skip a turn. And we're going to replace this skill with his rank 13 Iron Pot skill, where he can choose which way he faces. It also gives you 3 stacks of Senshi Satisfaction, which will put him at 4 stacks, which is what we need in order to trigger the rank 2 Ascension effect. When you have 4 or more stacks, Senshi Satisfaction gains immunity to Bound. So that's another way you don't have to skip your turn. Okay, so if we take a look at Senshi here, we can use this skill, Iron Pot, to gain 3 stacks of Senshi Satisfaction, which will put him at 4 stacks, and that means that he can summon one of these pots in just 1 turn. Let's just do it without these stacks, so that we can see how long it takes normally. So we're on turn 1 now. So there he summons the food, and then he skips his turn. Yeah, so he skipped a turn. Now we go to round 3. And only in round 3 can he act again. Right, so if we go back, and we give him 3 stacks of the Senshi Satisfaction, that should put him at 4 stacks. So you can use the skill to redirect him. But you still have to skip a turn. The difference is you're getting the extra defense on Senshi, or the damage reduction. So now, if we go to Senshi's turn now, he is at 5 stacks of this Satisfaction, which means he's immune now because of his Ascension skill. He's now immune to Bound, so he's not going to have to skip a turn after casting the food. So let's see if he skips a turn or not. Yeah. Right, he summons the food. Does he skip a turn? No. So it is he can act right after he summons the food. So it does work with the Ascension skill as well. It's another way to summon the food quickly, and both, I mean, you still have to skip a turn. So I really prefer using the responsibility skill that allows him to summon the food early. But this is another way of doing it. If you do want to be running this Iron Pot skill to gain the 3 stacks, but yeah. I think this skill is the best skill if you want to gain these satisfaction stacks. It's got a 1 turn cooldown that can be reduced to 0 turn if he gets happiness, but this is the best if you want to. It's very difficult for him to get the satisfaction stacks. So if we just take a look at his trait, this is 3 stars. So he gets 1 stack of Senshi's satisfaction, but at 5 stars, at 4 stars actually, he gets 2 stacks. That may be enough, but I know at 5 stars he gains 3 stacks. So I'm thinking at 5 stars, I mean, you're not going to push him to 5 stars, I'm not sure about this. But at 5 stars at 5 stars he will be able to, maybe he won't need that responsibility skill. He'll just need the Ascension skill, so that means choose another skill in that slot anyway. And then also at 5 stars, he's guaranteed to trigger happiness and fullness. So he really is asking for 5 stars, which is a big ask. That way you won't have to run this Iron Pot skill, or you won't have to run the responsibility skill if he was at 5 stars, and you could choose something else. I think this co-attack is really cool. It's going to increase attack up to 15% for everybody around the food, plus another 15%. So you could get an extra 30% in attack around the food. That's why I say he can actually increase units attack up to 60% around the food. Let me just replace that skill with this co-attack, and we're just going to test if we can get up to 4 stacks without any of these skills, just naturally get up to 4 stacks. So he starts turn 1. I think that's 1 stack there. If he triggers a cuisine effect, gains 1 stack of Senshi satisfaction. He can get another one there maybe. Okay, we're on turn 2. He is up to 2 stacks now. Turn 3. Still 2 stacks. Not sure why it's not going up there. Okay, so I see it's not every turn that he gets 1 stack of Senshi. It's only at the start of the battle. So only once per battle does he gain 1 stack of Senshi satisfaction. That's kind of brutal. So the only way he can get that stacks naturally is if he triggers the cuisine effects. So if we end his turn here next to this food, he didn't even trigger the cuisine effects there. You could see he didn't get any regen. And that's probably because, yeah, he didn't trigger it there. Not sure why, but... it looks like they're running maintenance on the server, so I'm gonna have to end the video here. But it didn't look like he was triggering any cuisine effects there. I'm not sure if it's because he had fullness. But yeah, it's very, very difficult to get up to 4 stacks of Senshi satisfaction without any one of those other skills. At rank 5, you can get up to 4 stacks, but it'll only be a once-off thing, so you can only basically summon 1 meal per battle for free. Otherwise, I really think you need to run that skill, the responsibility. It's gonna give you a few extra buffs, like the crit up, or you can run the rank 13 skill where he gets 3 stacks, but he's still going to have to skip a turn if you're running that skill anyway. It does give him that extra defense though, which is cool. I think I have a much better understanding of Senshi thanks to you guys, and yeah, there's a lot you can do with him. I think you need to do a lot of battles with him, and then you can. That's the only way you're gonna figure out some cool plays. But yeah, guys, looking forward to Senshi and have lots of fun with him. See you in the next one.